States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
And now the invocation by Miss Pat Reynolds.
Our Father, we thank you for this board. We thank you for the wisdom that's around this table. We thank you for imparting the wisdom to them as they work together for our town and our community. Grant them the insights they need, listening to one another, getting the ideas out before one another, and so they can ponder them and come to the right decisions. We thank you. In Jesus' name we pray. Amen.
Amen.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you, Pat.
Thank you.
You're an excellent fill-in.
Okay, so I might come back by demand another time.
Or just tell Bob that, hey, I'm doing it tonight. You know, that type of thing.
Well, they're far and few between
If
now, I
you would
guess.
remind him, because I reminded him once, the ministerian is supposed to send us a schedule.
It's sent. He told me today, he said that there was someone scheduled here, he called in sick, and he said, somebody, you know, they live in deposit, somebody else commutes to Endicott, somebody else doesn't have any pastor, so there aren't too many, I guess, that are available. Especially when it's the same night, you gotta get two people.
Right, and next month we'll go back to our regular schedule.
Right.
The
Okay.
second
We're usually
Monday.
the second Monday, but we've been on the
Okay.
first Mondays because of the
Oh, okay.
holidays.
Am I being recorded?
You are. You can actually wave too.
I don't think there's
Well, I have band practice at 7:30, and I gotta get supper. Maybe another time I can play the stage,
Well,
because it looks interesting.
well, yes, you're more than welcome. to come.
Well,
You know what?
And bring a
You can
friend.
watch it later and you'll not find it all. You won't miss it. It's
Bring
like-
a
it's like
couple
DVR
friends
again.
next time.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you'll need someone like Teresa who will do a little...
No. No, not Teresa. She'll heckle us. Thank you, Pat.
Bye-bye.
Bye.
Okay, next thing on the agenda is the public hearing. I would accept a motion to open the public hearing.
So we'll move. Second.
Got a motion and a second. All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Public hearing is about the 2019 budget. Are there any
Stand-up
comments
job.
from the public? You know, this is kind of... I wish the room was packed. I really do.
No, you don't.
Maybe not packed, but, you know...
Trust me.
I've been to a number of board meetings where there's a lot of people in there, and yeah, but...
For the people watching, if you want to just announce what they...
Yes,
The levy.
for the people. The levy from 2018 to 2019 increases by a 0.074% increase. In dollar terms, 2018 was $1,274,218. In 2019, $1,275,160. And as we were discussing earlier, for every $100,000 of assessed value on your property, the increase is $74, correct?
For every $100,000 assessment, if it's the village, it's actually going to go down.
Excuse me, not 74, it's $7.60. But if you live in the village, it actually decreases by $1.13.
And this is just the town.
Yeah, and now, again, this is just the town budget. When you get your tax bill, you'll have the fire districts and the county's portion on that tax bill. So, and they're all separated out. But the increase is minimal. In the last several years, it's been pretty flat.
We've held the tax levy at a 0%.
So, you know,
So the total budget increase is $5,610 from last year.
yeah, you know, commendable on the, you know, keeper of the highest budget, Wall, and of course Rhonda's clerical work.
Much appreciation to Rhonda and Walt.
Yes, yes. Kudos to you guys.
Thank you.
And, you know, last 3 or 4 years or how long it's been, the board, council, town council has had a part in this, so, you know, keeping the tax levy at zero at the barest minimum, you know, you guys have a, you know, play in that too, so thank you as a taxpayer for keeping it that way, and hopefully we can continue that. So have I taken up a minute yet? There has been no other comments, no one here.
I move we close the hearing.
I'll second it.
Okay, there's move in a second, all in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Now we vote, right?
No,
Or is that, when do we vote on
You
it?
gotta make a
usually in your
motion.
section,
Yeah.
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 Oh, okay.
We'll have to adopt it.
Okay. All right.
You don't pass them down the line, you gotta do the ones right here. Oh, I just did the bright yellow sheets. Oh, okay.
Okay, county hazard mitigation plan. You'll notice on the agenda, Jessica Ulmer did plan to attend. Who came in earlier?
Everett
Everett
from planning.
from planning came in, and
Everett Farrell.
Carol, yeah.
yes, who is actually moving back to Florida.
Really?
Yes.
That's not a good thing.
No.
No,
that's
He was
too
a
bad.
heck of an asset, yeah, from what I understand, the limited time I've had conversations with him.
He'll be back in the summers
But they're
sometimes.
That's like a,
they resources are getting really thin, and they
He
asked
had-
to be,
He hadn't only been with him for a relatively short period of time, a year or two, and he got right up to speed quick, and we worked with him at the flood commission, that was his function, was
Yeah.
working with soil and water for that. And I thought he filled, it was a new, kind of a new position, and I thought he fit very well.
so anyways, they asked if they could be relieved from being here tonight, because their schedules are so packed, and this is required every, how many years?
Every 5 years.
Every
though.
5 years has to be updated. It's been updated. You have copies of that. Not a lot has changed in the last 5 years. But we're required to vote on the what word I'm looking for?
The resolution,
Resolution to adopt the 2018 hazard mitigation plan. And this will be good for 5
I
years?
was gonna say, and then it's 5 years more.
well, actually, in the next 18 to 24 months, Delaware County Planning is participating with SUNY Albany in New York State, and they're gonna go over the entire plan, because of participating with SUNY Albany. So it will be looked at again, but this is, basically what you're adopting here are any updates to, the multi-jurisdictional all-hazard mitigation plan that was originally adopted back in, what, 2003?
13, the original
Or
was.
2000.
Resolution 107, 2003. Required to actually read the resolution, right?
Yes.
Yes, let me read the resolution, and then we can vote to adopt that,
Yep.
correct? All right, okay. Whereas Delaware County has gathered information and prepared an updated Delaware County jurisdictional all-hazard mitigation plan, and whereas the Delaware County Board of Supervisors determined in Resolution 107 of 2003 that a multi-jurisdictional all-hazard mitigation plan representing all the towns and villages in Delaware County would be more efficient to produce than each community drafting and adopting its own. And whereas the Delaware County multi-jurisdictional all-hazard mitigation plan has been prepared in accordance with the Disaster Mitigation Act of 2000. And whereas Delaware County is a local unit of government that has afforded the citizens an opportunity to comment and provide input on the plan and the actions in the plan. And whereas Delaware County and the town of Walton have reviewed the plan and affirm that the plan will be updated no less than every 5 years. Now, therefore, be it resolved by the town of Walton, town board, And the town of Walton adopts the Delaware County multi-jurisdictional all-hazard mitigation plan and resolves to execute the actions of the plan. That's the resolution on the table.
I'll make a motion that we adopt the resolution.
Motion made and seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
The resolution is carried. Good.
I'm sure Steve would have some comments that actually CRS hinges on that being adopted by like, kind of the 11th hour. And in the last one, there were all these points of
Yeah.
things to be done, we had quite a few of those that we said 5 years ago we're gonna work towards have been complete. I think Steve would probably add that.
Where is Steve today?
He's down the street too.
Going down the street.
Okay, approval of minutes from October 1, 17, and 23.
Make a I'll second it.
Motion's made, seconded. All in favor?
Aye.
Aye.
Carried. Guess we can skip floor time unless you want to participate.
Like you just
No? Okay. Okay. Everybody get a copy of the code enforcement, dog control, and floodplain manager's report?
in assessor.
And assessor.
Yeah.
I gotta move that up into, yeah. Let me make that.
Maybe you wanna take out dog control, put that as separate, cause that's gonna be
Right.
a separate person doing it.
Yeah, yeah, okay.
It's like our new officer was busy.
I'm gonna say, yeah, we like dog control, have a lot of stuff.
Yes. Yes, he's learning a lot. He has, had to deal with 2 dogs today. Each completely different ends of the town.
He's got new tires and an oil change, so go for it.
Oh, did you do that today or
Last
week sometime?
What,
Yeah.
what truck is he using?
The blue Colorado.
The blue one, what's Steve?
Here's what I tasked Steve to work out, because he questioned that. And I said, there's 2 vehicles for Steve, Rusty, and Fran. Develop a plan,
Yep.
and, 3 guys can share
Share
2
two
vehicles.
vehicles, yeah.
We don't,
Yep.
With the van, the mileage, I don't have the documents in front of me. I'm gonna say every 3 to 4 months a tank of fuel.
Yeah, so that's not
The
getting.
code enforcement dog control was running 2 or 3 fuel tanks a month. This last month, the dog truck took 1. So we could give him another vehicle, but then,
No, I
as
think,
you
like
say-
Joe said, we can work it out.
Right, the dog
Yeah.
truck and the van have pretty much have been just, sitting out there
Yeah.
unless Rusty needs to use it, or if Fran needs to go to Delhi and
Right,
take paperwork,
yeah.
but for the most part, and all of them have a key,
Right.
so they can
Okay.
get access to it.
Steve's initial concern was he may have to go some places that need 4-wheel drive, and I told him, hey, just coordinate with Rusty.
Right, yeah.
you never know when that's coming. I mean, we can find him something.
Yeah, I think. we
Oh,
can
yeah.
do it,
Yeah.
Even if it's taking the loader, I don't know, we'll find something. In the wintertime, I'll give him a plow truck. to
There you
take
go.
it.
Plow your way out
There
there.
you go. Okay, no other
Keep calling
comments
it
on?
dog calls.
Okay.
Plow your way there.
There are a couple of hearings.
Oh. That's
Okay,
when we'll get
Walt.
them
Eventually we'll get them all.
I have a few updates and then a couple of things would like some action done on. On the stormwater grant that I've always put here, the work is progressing.
Just this one?
Emma got back to me and said, we went through our analysis on all the culverts and are working on drafting up the report. We should have something pulled together in the coming weeks, and from there we'll set up a meeting and sit down and review. And that was dated November 1st, so I think between now and the next month's meeting, should have their report on all the culverts.
Okay, great.
Yep. And on the logging, Rod did go up and take a look. This was on Friday. And I'll read what he said. And he actually stopped, but I was out of town. But I hiked up the hill today, talked to one of your guys. I could not find the left line nor the upper line. I flagged the right line, I'm thinking he's meaning property lines here, with some orange on the fence. There's a little wood, but it is steep, some soft maple, some hard maple, some ash, not much beech, not exciting. If we can get someone interested, it will only be a few $1,000s for the town. I'm not sure, if I can get anyone interested on the hill for just a small amount. Let me know what you wanna do, and I told them I would bring it to the board meeting. I mean, we've been looking into this for
Yeah,
quite a while.
yeah.
It sounds like there is a little bit of timber up there, not a significant amount. And I didn't actually speak face to face, Jeff did, and he's like, you know, he gets 16%, or a percentage, I'm thinking that's what it is, of whatever the take. And to get somebody, a logging firm, to come in for that little bit amount to set up and get out, maybe you could, it would be tough. And also, the market is a little soft.
Yeah.
I know nothing of it, that's why I needed somebody to come and look. But it hasn't been done as long as I've been there, and none of the guys who've been there as much as 25 years ever remembers that. So, I guess I don't need an answer right now, but if it's worth pursuit. You know, someplace.
I would recommend we table it for now, and,
You know, you go into a wood lot with a couple hundred acres where there's a couple $100,000 worth of, which is more enticing for loggers to move in. I'm not saying that, you know, if we went ahead with it, it's not gonna cost us anything, I don't think.
yeah. And you mentioned on trying to get somebody in there on such a steep slope also would be
And I
challenging.
can, it is,
So,
yep, that makes sense.
you know,
Maybe we can
Maybe
table it
the,
till
maybe the
market comes
thing to
back
do
up.
is to just kind of wait, and if
Yeah.
somebody's logging like next door to us on another piece of property right nearby, maybe they would be interested in coming in then if they already had their equipment there.
yeah, so it's
You
not
know, they did a
presidential.
couple of years ago alongside there behind McGibbon's, and I don't know, might have been one of the McGibbon boys, I think I think the Matt does that, no. Mark?
I'm
I'm
not
not sure. I'm thinking they, I mean, I saw a skidder and I was told, not much about it, but that might be something to,
Yeah, if somebody's working nearby and they've got their equipment right
Yeah.
there, we might be able to get them to go up on our.
but it does not sound like we're gonna have, it's not gonna reduce the taxes
Yeah.
by very much.
Right.
It's not the golden ticket.
No, it's not the, yeah, the gold. But anyway, moving along here. The backhoe's ordered, actually had one coming that fit that description, and when I signed for it with Ricky, he says, I'll put Town of Walton's on that. He said December 16th. So I wouldn't hold my breath, but I'm thinking maybe this year, he'd like to have us go down and go through all the, look at, and do a little bit of training on that, and I figured Jeff can go. It's got some neat features that I didn't realize. I mean, it's almost like OnStar on it, but the mechanic or the service manager, it's at Binghamton and bring up and do some diagnostics in there, where before they'd have to come, either you take that down, or they come up and they hook the computer on it. It's $300-400 minimum just to have them show up, but they can do that without leaving the office, and there's a lot of other neat features that come with that. So anyway, it's ordered, hopefully by the end of the year we'll have it.
Nice.
Um,
And what was the total cost? 90?
Maybe you can ask. $95,659. That's New York State OGS PC 6698, and also the NJPA. Max I gave Rhonda's got all that information. But
And-
actually, the National Joint Alliance price also.
And most of the funding for that came,
From Senator Bonisick, which I'll go over in my,
okay, great, I just wanted to do a plug for him, so.
yes.
Yep,
That's why I brought it
and
up.
he's leading also.
Senator
And it's a cat, right?
Yes, it is, yeah, it was a state bid. The other ones were, I mean, without digging that
Right.
through, but there was Komatsu, no, it wasn't that. I don't remember.
Yeah.
I don't remember. But this at least has availability of parts, they're close by, and,
Services.
not some, yeah.
Responsiveness of them.
Also, we got some surplus used tires, Kevin and I talked about that. We got some 19.5, and in talking with Tallman's Tire, where we get our tires through, the state did also on that. Asked them about taking them for recaps, they're like about 50% or a little bit less. We use them on the Dodges that we do plowing. We like to have fairly good rubber so you don't run them. They're still legal by quite a lot. Like to surplus them, put them on the auction site. If we get $5 for them, I have no idea what we'll get for them. They're a common tire, and asking for a surplus, there's probably 6, 12, 18 to 20 tires.
I'll make a motion that we declare them surplus.
Second.
Motion made, seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Good, yep. And if they don't sell, what do you do with them?
I don't know, I'm hoping somebody will get $10 for it. If it's $10, they'll come, that's $10 we didn't have.
Right,
I mean, we
okay.
could keep them, but to put them on in the summertime, and actually those 2 trucks, we don't put an awful lot of miles in them. We use the federal surplus trucks, try to run them. It's not that we don't use them, but we pretty much leave them parked. Rather run a $500 truck cost than a
Right.
truck that runs costs $50,000.
Right, yeah, no.
On the FEMA, the 4397 update, I met again with, did go to the kickoff and the briefing, and we're in it, a lot of it's portal, a lot of things have changed, the laws and policies, I don't remember, I might be repeating myself here, have stayed the same, but the delivery of it's a little bit different. FEMA basically has, before the PAC-PAL team, one from FEMA and one from Homeland Security, went out and they looked at the damages, and they took pictures and GPS, and they wrote, they measured it and did the volumes, and then they wrote up the PWs and you signed them, went in the system. Now they'll go out, but FEMA's gotta be there, the FEMA rep come and they get all the data, but they don't equate $1 to it, they send it to Virginia, where they have individuals who are engineers. The way I was told is it's a younger generation that do that. They sit there and you send them all the information, they have not viewed anything. They have a checklist and you make sure that you have everything, and then they write them up and send it back.
Now,
So this is gonna be a longer drawn out process.
who writes the scope of work?
It's my understanding that the individuals that are sitting in the cubicles down in Virginia, but they get the information from the data collectors, they're called DARs, D-A-R,
Okay.
whatever that is. It's sort of the same thing, only it's different. But I think I reported that, I went out with 2 of them for a couple hours, and they were stopped 8 o'clock this morning, and spent about 2.5 hours out. And I looked at some other sites, we took up some stream sites. So now I think I have a handle on what they might be able to cover as far as in the stream, that aren't, if it's nothing that the town owns, which always has been, or legally responsible for, but there's some gravel bars, and streams have meandered quite a bit. It's not, right now, they're not right next to the road, the infrastructure, but they're not gonna get any better. And the chances, actually, they told me what I already knew pretty much, but it had to have created damage or imminent. It's not like it's not. So I have a different, I think I have a better look in my mind. And they actually stopped and talked to Graydon, which was good, because Graydon wanted to know some information. And then they called me back and said Graydon wanted to see me, but I was planning on catching in first thing tomorrow morning and reviewing what we found. We're kind of working together a little bit to see if there is some funding available for, because there are some streams that had some damage to it. What we did find is some of the stacked rock and some of the slope rock that's keyed in, or used to be, is not keyed in. Basically what we did on, what's going on in Pine Brook, what we did, and they covered some on Wakeman Brook, what we did on Beers Brook, where the stones used to be below, the bed of the stream has gone down. So if we can find another funding source to help us out for them, so I think before the ice gets on here, we've got another 60 days from the day they kick off, so we still got another 2 months to really go. I haven't really gone in depth at looking at them, but I guess it's time to put on the waders. And I really don't like going next to stream when they're up. The same thing when there's vegetative debris in there. We've been pretty good about at least twice a year. And I don't like to do it when the streams are running a lot of water. It's just more of a hazard, I think.
Which has like been all year.
Yeah.
And it has, yeah. That's why we wait till the end of the year to do the ditching. Later on in the summer, well, we didn't pull that off right this year. Who knows?
But it's still very subjective
It is.
to the guy with the guy with eyes on at the site is writing this. It's still very subjective. Imminent is in the eyes of the beholder, correct? So
That's where you gotta
yeah.
sharpen the
yeah,
pencil. It's
right.
not what you say, it's how you say it.
Correct,
And over
yeah.
the years, some of the PAC-PAL teams, which are no more, they call them something different, had the way of, it's not what you say, it's how you say it.
Yeah.
But I mean, it's still gotta be within reason on that. So I'm gonna spend a little time and see if there's nothing. We did have one, a slope failure. It goes down the creek, but it's right up to the next to the road, which is probably be a separate PW. It's gonna be there all winter. In the last couple of days, it's gotten worse. So it's up on Woodlawn Road. They're probably gonna end up with some Jersey barriers or some concrete in there for the winter. They're aware of it up there. We've put some material in there and tried 3 or 4 different times, and the whole thing just keeps, you can't seem to get it stabilized without going all the way, but when you look way down at the bottom, there's a stream that runs down through there, and you can tell that that stream has gone, so it's allowing the whole bank, not just from the top, but basically from the top to the stream is moving. So you need to get in there some old rock, which is probably gonna need an engineer stamp, that's what we'll talk with Graydon, to get through that process, but I know it did happen because of the event starting, we just haven't been able to. We've been putting Band-Aids on it, but it needs a stitch, so, and hopefully there's things like that, I mean, everything, all the major problems that we had was, gravel moving into the ditch, we didn't lose any roads, nothing was closed fairly, but a lot of shoulder, where we lose 100 feet of it, 200 feet of it, we gouge it out in water, which seems to happen.
We still, we're very fortunate compared to,
And I'd like to think,
Hancock.
because over the years, we've worked and we've done a lot with streams, we've done a lot of upsizing the pipes and trying to keep the drainage open, but we could use more people, but we get by, but the drainage sometimes is tough, there's always you use that windstorm and a couple of twigs to get down in front of a pipe, and to go out and say the day before and pull them all out, and we got 1,575. It's an all year round job,
oh yeah.
and we're not, every time
You're not
you
gonna
see
get
it-
everything.
No, we don't.
You're not.
But we try, and I think that, the guy's gotta be commended for, you gotta keep prodding him, but to keep up. I'm rattling on here too much. Up on Moore Park, we did dig the star, the conduits in anyway. But also this, I mentioned the spring that nobody got up there and really spun up the ballpark. Well, they did a couple weeks ago. It'll grow back over the top, but that's just kind of.
Did we, the rocks there? The big rocks?
No,
Nobody ever got those?
no, well, he was gonna set them aside for us, that's a couple months ago, but he's out in Montana.
We'll get
That
them
happened.
eventually.
But we didn't plan on blocking the whole thing off, they'll just drive around.
Right.
The signs are still in the office too.
There's one of them off. And the other thing that I had, I'd like to add another name to the reading list.
Is that what you were talking about earlier?
The other day.
Yeah, okay. I thought that was it, that's what I mentioned to Rhonda, and,
Yeah.
I
Actually,
wasn't positive.
that's why I asked, what I did is I asked if you wanted to go in executive session for that, or I could throw a name on it.
Yeah, I don't think we need to go in the executive session.
Steve Condon has expressed an interest. I've been after him since he no longer worked over there last year, and he didn't bite in, but his son did. And his son's doing something else, and he approached me and said, if you're looking for one, I'd be willing to do that. And he knows it's on call you 4 o'clock in the morning, you might work for 2 hours, you might work 4 hours, you might be a day and a half, depending on the weather.
So Owen had been doing it, but now he can't?
Well, yeah, well, you're not gonna make a living off it.
Right,
I mean, we're not out,
right, hopefully.
no,
We don't-
okay, but I mean, on the average, you're probably looking at 100 hours through the season. I could look back at each one, I've kept those on a spreadsheet since as long as I've been doing it. I'm gonna say sometimes a little bit more, but he's expressed an interest in
Steve Condon works for me.
Works for
it.
me.
Another name on the list? And while we're on that, I'd also like to add, Joe said it because Charlie was on that, I think that comes with the position.
That's
In
because,
English.
Charlie never plowed before, I plowed before, so I'll decline that, but, well, it's very nice,
Experience.
very nice of you to
Can't
offer.
be, you haven't been elected.
It's very nice of you to offer,
I'd be happy to.
but, I wouldn't wanna take anything away from the other guys that
That's all I ask.
that wanna wing, so I would,
Yeah, I agree with you, I went once too, and that was exactly my thoughts,
yeah.
I don't wanna
It is
take
an
money out of
experience.
somebody's
I mean,
pocket.
it is, it's a little different, I mean, you probably all, when you're up in the air a little bit higher, at least you don't get the snow back in the windshield as much, But when you're going down the road and things like that, this car comes right up the middle of the road, and you can't get over quick enough, and it's an adventure.
I'm here, but on the list, I don't want to be.
I'll make a motion to have
Motion,
Steve added to the list.
Second.
second, all in favor?
Aye.
Aye, carried, good.
That's all I have. That I had written.
Rhonda?
Okay, we don't have bank statements, yet, just like last month, so as soon as we get them, I will do the financial reports and, put them in your mailboxes for you. So that's a reminder to get them as soon as you can. The dog control officer has been very busy. We currently have 46 dogs past due right now, and he is actively working on those lists. So, I think he's, encountered 4 dogs that he's had to pick up so far. I'm currently working on the $75,000 backhoe grant that was awarded by Senator John Bonasek. We received the grant. I just need the supervisor and the deputy supervisor to sign those documents, because we only have 30 days to do that. So I'll have you sign that tonight before leaving. And like Walt said, the backhoe has been ordered. We are currently waiting on the Assemblyman Crouch's grant. I have not received paperwork on that yet, and hopefully that comes soon because our bathroom ceiling is still leaking. So hopefully we'll get that.
Should we just discuss what we talked about yesterday, or the other day?
Yeah, I contacted a contractor to possibly come and put a tarp over where we believe the water may be pooling and then getting underneath the shingles, and then putting up a couple of small strands of eaves trough, and then that way hopefully it's usually when it's raining very hard. It's coming down very hard.
A lot.
Yeah.
Exactly. So we have water just streaming down our wall and our light fixture. So hopefully that'll get done. I would say probably tomorrow or the next day.
Same contractor that did the
Right.
Yes.
wall, very responsive, Billy, he's
Yep.
good guy.
We supplied the new sexual harassment policy that was required to be in place by October 9th. After reviewing this with Attorney Wallace, this new policy models and meets the New York State requirements. Once it is adopted, it will be delivered to all employees, and then a training date has to be scheduled in the future that Supervisor Seta will perform. So if there's no questions on sexual harassment, I will need a motion.
I'll make a motion.
Second.
Motion made and seconded, all in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Yeah, the plan, and I was talking, if I may just, I'll take this down, because it's required to take it down to the shop, and sit with, based on Walt's schedule, sit with the guys and go over this policy and have them sign that they've read and received a copy of that. That's what's required, so.
And we have like a little training thing that I'll provide you too.
Yeah.
But it was just, it's more extensive than what we've had in the past. So if there's, we actually have model forms, who is gonna receive those forms, who's gonna hear, who's gonna investigate, it's all written out now, so that'll help. I will be attending the New York State Town Clerk Regional Meeting for my District 3 regional position in Binghamton on December 2nd and 3rd. So I'll be gone Sunday and Monday, and that's gonna be in Binghamton. And then we submitted the editorial and legal analysis to General Codes. It was due by November 1st, and we did meet that deadline. We now will wait for a final review from General Code. What it was is they sent us quite a thick packet that myself, the code enforcement officer, and Gail Sheridan, the chairman of the planning board, reviewed. These are our local laws that they were questioning and where they actually found duplication different wording in the duplicated laws and stuff, so they've sorted that all out, gave us options, and once they're done reviewing it, they will send us a final to review once more, and then we will finally have a book. And along with that review will come the amended local laws that we'll have to adopt and then put in place. So they'll do all that paperwork and, stuff, so that's all I have.
Okay, thank you. Just wanted to give you an update on the Water Street floodplain project. I'm sure everybody has had a chance to, if you're driving down Delaware Street, you'll look across behind McDonald's, you see several excavators and big piles of dirt.
Just throw some dirt in the potholes at McDonald's. And they just fling that a little farther?
Yeah, so that's progressing. I know they had to shift some of the, Graydon said that the landfill wanted their portion sooner than what they had projected, so he did some shifting of the trucks to go. I don't know if that's actually happened yet, but it's gonna, I can't remember, I think the landfill's getting like 7,000 yards, and the...
Can we just take a minute to applaud the fact that Water Street is actually finally getting work done?
Yes.
I've been hearing that since I moved to Walton.
8 years. At the last flood commission meeting, Graydon was...
The reason it just started is because it's an election year.
Yeah, Graydon was absolutely ecstatic when he announced that they're going to start this week,
And Graydon's done a lot of work there.
Graydon, yeah, he tried to pass it off on everybody in the flood commission meeting that it was a culmination of everybody in that room, but we all know that Graydon, you're too humble. When you lead the train on something like that, Graydon should be the one commended for that. So I'm publicly thanking Graydon Dutcher for his efforts over the last 8 years to facilitate that Water Street floodplain mitigation project. So thank you, Graydon. Braking motors update. Here's what I received a copy, requested and received a copy of the environmental study that was done, phase 1 and phase 2, which really wasn't complete because the way I understand it, they were going to do more, and sent that to Graydon. With his team, they're going to review that and give us guidance on, as far as environmental concerns, a guidance on how to move forward on that whole project. And I spoke to Tim Cox. He was at the flood commission meeting, and I told him that this is what I think a way forward is. Review the environmental consideration, or the environmental study that was done. They'll develop a plan on what should be the next step, and then we'll go into discussions with the CWC on, hey, this is what we have, this is how we think we can move forward with it, and more to follow on that. So, I just want everybody to know that, the town of Walton, because it is a flood mitigation project, it's on the LFA, and it was #1 for a while. We want to move forward, but we're going to do it methodically and with due caution, and get as much guidance from, external resources as we think we need. And once that all comes together, we'll decide on, make a determination. Good, yeah, good, thank you. On a way forward, but I just want everybody to know I think it's in the best interest of the town to continue to move forward with that.
Maybe you want to mention too that the reason we're moving so slowly is because we want to protect the taxpayers of the town.
Right. Yes.
With why the reason is with the
Moving forward until and unless we find that we
environmental issues.
can't, because it's gonna be cost prohibitive.
Yeah,
Right, there are some environmental considerations that are unknown at this time. We're waiting for a determination from the current testing that was done, and if there's a way to move forward, we will, but we're going to, again, be methodical, and we're not going to go into a contract that will, what's the word I'm looking for?
adversely affect.
Cause a lot of liability, yeah,
Cause undue risk
yeah.
to the taxpayers of the town of Walton. If there's a way in a contract with CWC that absolutely mitigates any risk to the taxpayers of the town of Walton, we'll move forward. But until that time, we're going to take it one step at a time.
Fiscal responsibility.
Yes, yes. But any questions on that? Okay. All right, in this, we received a packet from the Watershed Agricultural Council referencing a local consultation process on the forest conservation easement for Janice C. Bowker. Now, she lives down past Walt. CWC has sent us a packet,
Not CWC, WAC.
or excuse me, WAC, yeah. The Watershed Agricultural Council is currently looking at putting a conservation easement on Janice Bowker's property. We have 120 days to review it. What I've done is I talked to Ryan Natz. He's the easement program director for the Watershed Agricultural Council. He is going to come in to our board meeting in December and give us a presentation on basically the whole scope of easement process. And we can ask questions concerning this one or anything that he updates us on. I've never sat in a briefing that would, give information on what type of easements are out there or what type of easements the Watershed Agricultural Council does. So I think it'll benefit us. It'll be very informative. So I told him, we'll give him the floor for 20 minutes to a half hour, whatever he needs, and we'll be able to ask questions on, this particular easement application or any other questions that arise from that briefing. So, one thing I did ask him today, what is the the taxable impact on that type of easement? And he said, over the phone, he said there is none. But he'll get more into that next month.
Well, there must be
So-
some kind of, there'd be no point in having an easement if there wasn't some tax break.
Right. I think, yeah.
To the town, he referenced that the landowner gets
Get a break.
gets some
But the
relief,
town-
but the Watershed Agricultural Council will make up for whatever
Gotcha,
that impact is.
gotcha.
So as far as the assessment or the tax base that we would receive through taxes wouldn't increase, and that was my main concern, or wouldn't decrease, excuse me. That was my main concern.
So
So
is that guaranteed for just a certain amount of time?
that's what we're
Yeah,
gonna
okay,
find
so,
out
yeah.
next month.
Yeah.
I don't know if it's I would think it'd be perpetual.
I would think it should be too, but I think it's limited to like 20 years maybe.
Then they could take in,
After 20
Review.
years, they can,
Well, you'd
what's the
think
word
they'd
I want?
review the easement.
When you
and
object
the
to
use
your
of it.
assessment.
I'll
Agree. Yeah, grieve your they can grieve the assessment on it.
Well, it's the
Think.
same situation with the land
With
in the
the
city
landowner,
spot,
too.
yeah. With
Yeah.
their land acquisition, there's a time limit where and once that time limit's up,
Mhm.
all bets are off, so.
Okay, that's what I had for the town. County update, there was a resolution passed, it's about their snow removal. the county is going to continue their snow removal efforts between 4 o'clock and 5 o'clock in the morning to start, and they will not go out after 8 o'clock. They've been doing this for years, but they brought up a resolution just to put it on paper and make it official. I guess it's been unofficial. I think I'm saying that
No,
right.
they had a resolution way back.
Or maybe they just revised the resolution, but, you know, the caveat to that is, if a fire chief or an official in that type of capacity calls 911, 911 dispatch can call the county to respond to a road that is detrimental. If there's an accident on the road or something like that, there are provisions in that resolution that will expedite, you know, maintenance on the road during winter conditions in case of emergency type things. So I just, you know, just wanted
What's
to
that
bring
do
that
for
up.
people that work second shift?
Yeah, well, this has been going on for years now, so there's really no change other than they just updated the resolution.
I just guess I never knew that. I don't work second shift, so I didn't do it.
Yeah, yeah. Now,
It's been in place for at least 10 years, I think.
I'd say probably double the all of that.
yeah. Yeah. The phase 2 of the behavioral health project, locally known as the mental health clinic, but technically it's the behavioral health clinic, the project. It's going into design. It's, let me see. We passed a resolution to award that to C&S.
I believe so. That's the one that's been doing all the work.
Yeah. So they're yeah, currently going into design of that project. And I know Charlie was on that committee. I have not been assigned to that committee, but the committee chair, Mark Tuttle, I asked him for when they have meetings, especially when they're gonna discuss the behavioral health clinic. I wanna be there just so I can be as informed as possible, so I can let you guys know moving forward. And he said yes.
You're
of
probably
course.
not aware, but the town does have some equipment and labor hours already invested in that project. We dug all the test pits
Mhm.
on both sites. I don't know if you were aware of that.
No, I think maybe I was, yeah.
Probably a couple days of digging,
Okay.
a day on each side, I think.
They have, the contract's now signed, I don't think it's official.
I
So maybe so.
believe so, yes.
It was like last month, I think you reported on that.
Well, last
Or maybe
month
I
I
read the
know,
paper.
I know she was, our chairman of the board, Tina, it was approved for her to actually sign the contract. I don't know if, at this point, if she's officially signed it yet.
I believe, according to.
But I'll get an update and I'll send you guys an email if that's actually taking place. You don't have one to that. Oh, so she did? Was it recent, like last week?
I was gonna say within the last couple of weeks.
Yeah, last couple of weeks,
Yeah.
I think they're just waiting for title.
Okay, okay.
The couple of people asked me the size of the building, and I don't remember. Do you
Getting my hair done.
remember off the top?
Ah.
My hair done.
Roughly?
I don't remember. I'll find out.
I think it was like a 2-story building, maybe, I don't know,
I think so.
10,000 square feet or something. That's the part that,
It's 2-story,
I'll find that out. I know
They're
they
gonna take that
wanna,
building down in front, the house, the hairdresser house, they're gonna take that down as part of it, supposedly. Not really sure why, because it's gonna be way back.
yeah,
I
well,
think that was for access. They
For
wanted
access.
access.
yes.
It would be easy, more friendly to have it come at Howell Street instead of off that way. You've got more of a defined intersection type.
Because they
I
wanna
think
like
was their
it.
reasoning.
There was a,
I don't know about that,
there was a property line adjustment to,
but I believe it was for
Property
the
line.
entrance. as I remember.
Yeah.
I think that was on the other side though.
Yeah.
Yeah, the property line adjustment was, if you're looking at the property, was,
To the right by Subway.
yeah, the property line was like 20 feet off the building that housed the former Subway. And they moved it to like the 80-foot mark, which is roughly about the center of where he had his deer cutting place. And it doesn't go straight down, it curves a little bit, but, so I'll check, but I believe part of the contract was that Tim was demoing the buildings, correct?
Tim is demoing the deer cutting building. I don't think he's demoing the
I'll
house.
find out.
I don't know.
That was my understanding.
Yeah, I can find that out, that's no big deal. Again, I haven't had the capital projects committee, they haven't had a committee meeting in a while, but Mark's gonna let me know when they are, and he's the chair, Mark Tuttle's the chairman of the capital project committee, he'll let me know when, so I'll be invited to all those committees. Well, anybody can go. Anybody can go to any of the county committee meetings. They're open to the public, so. That's all I have. There's no further questions. Committee, council reports, does anybody have
I have a
anything?
couple of, I don't know if they're questions. Vets Plaza, we're gonna have the little ceremony on Sunday
Mhm.
with Vets.
I have to say a few words.
Of course. As long as I don't have to say a few words.
Well, no, I was formally asked to say a few words. It's going to be a short, well, I'm glad you brought that up. The Legion and the VFW are going to have a ceremony on the 11th at Veterans Plaza, starting at 11. Just a
They
short.
chose not to do the parade on Sunday because people would be getting out of church, so they didn't want to do the parade, but they wanted to commemorate the 11th hour,
Right.
11th month, and et cetera. So they're going to do a short ceremony there, and then the parade will be on Monday.
Right.
But the auxiliary approached me about putting veterans' pictures there. And if anybody has been in the community bank, there's a beautiful display that Janet Hulse has done in the bank with local vets and stuff. The kids contributed some letters of appreciation and stuff. It's a nice display. But they're gonna use at least some of those pictures, and they want to do something and put it at Veterans Plaza. My hesitation with that is that there's no place to really do that at Veterans Plaza that is going to be undercover. They are talking about like a poster board with laminated photos and on lattice that they want to attach to the pavilion. I don't think that's going to be protective enough, and my concern with that, I certainly want to honor the vets, but if it's nasty and rainy, which is all it has been, that's going to look pretty tattered and crummy and disrespectful in a hurry. So I'm hesitant to do that at this point when we only have a few short days left and we don't really have a plan in action and stuff. So I don't know how to answer them, because they're asking me if they can do that, and I said, well, certainly we would be totally on board with honoring vets, but I just don't think that there's a way to do that right now with pictures, you know, and stuff. We're going to do this ceremony.
So it's not something temporary, or?
It's something temporary, but
Maybe if you put a 2-week time frame on it, that they have to be taken down within 2 weeks, by the end of the month or something.
and I don't think that would actually be the problem. I don't know how much we want stuff screwed into the frame of the pavilion, but if it rains like it's been raining, I mean, it wouldn't have to be out there more than 10 minutes for it to look terrible, and I just don't want it to look terrible, you know, and stuff. They were talking about like a lattice that would put it across the back of the pavilion and have laminated poster board on it. I don't know, I don't have it in my head that I think that it would particularly be honorable. You know?
Laminated poster board should hold up for a couple of weeks.
When do they wanna do it, or when were
They
they?
wanna do it for this Veterans Day, so soon.
Or even a week, you know.
I talked to them on Friday night, they didn't have all the pictures yet, they didn't have an actual plan, those were the things that they were thinking.
Oh,
So they weren't,
they're not very well organized,
they
is what
they
you're
weren't
saying.
organized enough yet to know the whole, have it all fleshed out and stuff, so I wanted to bring it up when we were here.
So I think if they put it up right before, and took it down, you know, shortly afterwards, that should be okay if I'm looking. You know, if they put it up like today and don't wait until then, maybe it would look like crap, but if they put it up, when they're gonna do it on Saturday.
So if they want, I don't know, so if they wanted to do this, we're on board with them doing that?
I don't have a problem with it, you know, once it, we don't wanna leave it there,
No, we don't want it, it's their responsibility to take it down.
you know.
And we're okay with them screwing things into the,
I think so, I don't think
They
there's
shouldn't
that
be
much
more-
damage, a couple of screws.
Yeah. I don't know how big a thing they're planning to do, but, I mean, if we had more time, we could ask them, you know, we wanna see what it's gonna look like.
We can try it, if it doesn't work out, we won't do it again, that's always a,
well, the thing is, you just don't want it to look terrible while you're having a ceremony down there on it.
well, hopefully maybe they won't put it up until Saturday. Or Friday.
Even then, if it's not done well, that's gonna be.
Is it gonna be under the pavilion?
Huh?
Is that what they want, put it under the pavilion?
But there's no under the pavilion, really, you know what I mean? There are no sides to the pavilion, so then they were talking about putting lattice board up between the posts of the pavilion to put them on.
I mean, it would be protecting some from water coming down on it if it's on the post, cause the roof overhangs the
Yeah, and if it faces, as long as it faces in.
faces inside, yeah, you know. I mean,
I think if you know, if we put limitations on it, you know, wait till Saturday or Friday or Saturday to do it, and then take it down Monday, or, you know, or as soon as they, you know, as soon as it looks like it could start deteriorating, right, so.
And like I said, I'm all for doing something, I don't know if there's enough time to do what.
Who is this
the way
that's
it should
doing
be
this?
In the Belmont.
So it's an individual and not a group?
Well, it's auxiliary, but she's not the president of the auxiliary anymore, so I'm not sure. Her and Karen Van Valkenburger, who talked to me about
VFW or Legion Auxiliary. I think it's VFW. No, it'd be Legion, I think.
I think it's Legion.
One of the two entities,
I believe it's Legion.
yeah.
Anyway, also, last year we had 4-H troops and Boy Scouts and youth groups bring trees to the pavilion, to the plaza, to string them along and et cetera. Rhonda put them up more times than anybody. Do we want to do that again, or do we want to not do that again? The tree will be lit anyway, and you're gonna light the tree, you're gonna turn the light on for Friday night?
For veterans, yeah.
For veterans, and go through Monday?
Sunday, right? You don't want it lit until 11:11:11,
Oh, true, Sunday.
and then run it all that week.
But it's gonna be lit for the morning of Sunday, so that's, it's
You just
lit-
plug it in,
Just plug it in, okay,
Yep.
so we could do that.
Yep.
One of us will do that.
and then it'll stay, I'll go down, put the timer in after that, and then I'll be on it, you know, dusk to dawn. The trees, Milt and I had to go down, there was quite a few trees because they put on the trees any decoration that they wanted to, and they kinda kept with a theme, but because they did not go down and take these things down or clean up afterwards, it was a nightmare, and then Milt was still running over stakes when he was mowing. So,
Well, first of all, we've learned that real trees were a problem. It shouldn't be a real tree, it should be a fake tree, which would make life easier because you could just stick the whole thing in the ground instead of in the buckets, because the buckets were falling over.
Right.
And stuff. And it was cute, but I don't know that it was,
Yeah, we don't wanna make more work for,
Right.
you know,
It was a mess,
around there, you know.
the
Right, and it-
decorations, I mean, just cleaning
Yeah.
up all the decorations
Yeah.
that were just
Right.
strewed all over the place because of the wind and
blowing
stuff,
off,
yeah.
and I don't know how you contain that. You know, and that was the point, was it was like 4-H groups and they were doing their 4-H theme and, you know, and stuff. That was the point of doing it, which was a nice little thing, but it didn't turn out as nice as, yeah, it turned out nice for that moment, but
I think,
it was longer lasting than we
but we have the tree, you know, the veterans tree, and then you have, you know, what you
We
had
had those,
picked up,
right.
all that plus the other stuff which is still here, the deer and everything, so I think that still makes it look nice.
So we'll stick with that and not do the trees.
And then
this
it
year.
wouldn't be such an issue of trying to keep people away from it, during that ceremony too.
Right.
Because we had the wires going all.
Right.
When, when did they wanna do this?
We did it for the parade, so when Santa lit the tree, there was like all the trees lit.
The Saturday after Thanksgiving.
Oh, yeah, okay. Is
Because
there-
the tree is not very big yet at the plaza. It's
Right.
bigger now
It
because
is.
yeah, it's grown at least a foot. Probably more than that actually, this year and stuff. But this was, you know, to make it more festive and involve the kids, and, you know, that was the point of all of it, and that was nice, and that did happen, but it just,
Is there any way we could relay information to them? Who's the point of contact?
never good.
No, but I mean for the various committees, or various entities that do this. You said 4-H? Okay.
And I mean, they contacted me to put them
Yeah, it
there.
was Greg, right? Grutman?
Well, he's one
Greg
that
did
did
one
it.
of them.
Oh, okay.
But that was the problem, is we had, it was nice to have so many people participate, but with each tree, now you have a wire
Then we
going to
had to
that
put-
tree and a wire
right.
going to that tree.
We had to connect them to and have them all light at the same time.
Which caused a
Okay.
trip.
So there were, we had a lot of,
Yeah, yeah, okay,
Yeah, just
yeah,
not.
all right.
extension cords and stuff, and then, and that was all big. Charlie and Rhonda really worked hard on that as well, so, but then, like I said, the cute thing was that they had all of these decorations that were for 4-H and learning about 4-H, but then they were there for a long time, they were blowing in, they blew over. There was garland on one that didn't last very long.
Is there other stuff these entities, and when I say entities, 4-H Boy Scouts, could do as a combined effort, under your direction?
I don't know. I mean, I like the idea of the kids being involved as part of the community celebration.
Oh, yeah,
That's the
it's-
part I
oh,
like
yes.
about it, and that was the point of that. But the trees didn't really pan out exactly as we wanted to, so I don't know what else could be done there, you know, and stuff. And you could have trees that aren't lit, so you would have that you wouldn't have all of the things, but you still wouldn't be able to put decorations on them, so the trees that aren't lit and then have no decorations are no
Right,
praise.
yeah.
I mean, you could light the trees and not have decorations, but then you still have the extension cords, so that doesn't really work. And then the ornaments are what blew around, and so that doesn't really work. So I think trees are kind of not gonna work.
Right.
Yeah, it's just not in an area.
That's one of those things we tried and didn't work out.
Yeah.
Like we're just talking about now.
Right.
So we scratched that.
And I mean, it was meant to be nice and whatever, and it was nice for a minute,
I
but it
think you need more
didn't.
commercial type stuff, you know,
Well, we
that would
looked at
withstand the
more,
weather and stuff.
right, we looked at more things to put there, and that's not in the budget to do that, so we got a couple of things. We've got a few trees that are part of it. We got a snowman, but that didn't stay up either. So anyway, I think we just put up the trees and the deer that we have.
Mhm.
If anybody has something else that they'd like to donate to the town that we could put in there, I guess we could do that. It can't be religious.
Right, even if they have more deer where their lights
Right, like the same.
don't work, I can relight it. You know, that's what I did with that one, it was
Right.
an actual.
Why can't it be religious?
Because it's a municipal,
All religious.
We can't favor one
right, right, cause it can't be like a crash.
So could we open it up to all religions to put a thing there?
Then you're gonna have all
Okay,
things that don't stand up.
just, you know.
I feel like it's, that we should probably take control of what we put there.
No, I agree, I agree 100%.
Mine is Veterans Plaza,
Huh?
it's Veterans Plaza, it's not Christmas Plaza,
Well, veterans like Christmas too.
but it's Veterans Plaza.
But I mean, I think that.
That's why we have the red, white, and blue tree.
Instead of saying anybody can, if somebody wants to donate a Christmas thing to the town to put there, we could put more there. At this point, we don't have the budget to
Purchase the big
to
commercial.
purchase something else. And then when we looked at purchasing, so what do you purchase? You know, if you can't go with religious for the season, then, you know, you put a big Santa, you
Happy
wanna-
holidays.
Right, want to remember that it's Veterans Plaza, not just, you know.
Yeah, I,
So those were the thought processes last year.
I, if 4 or 5 religious groups came to the town board and said, we'd like to put a thing up in Veterans Plaza, you know, Christianity, Judaism, Muslim, whatever, and we allowed that, I mean, we could open it up to all religions. We don't, you know, we can't take the policy of saying no religions, because if someone of the Christian faith wants to put up a manger scene, and we allowed that, and then someone of the, you know, someone that is a Jewish faith wants to put up a menorah, and we allowed that. I mean, there's no law saying we can't do that. You follow what I mean?
I gotta review the case law from last year, because we did do this last year. We just have to be careful that we do not,
Discriminate against a particular faith.
Right.
And if we open it up to all faiths, we're not. You
But,
follow what I
but that
mean?
was the problem that we discussed last year, or the year before, I think it was. In order to put all that there, then you're relying on other groups to put things, and that's like the trees,
Right.
that's why we went with that, and that doesn't work. So you're having a bunch of things that are going there. You can't have, because this is a park, you can't have people just walking all over without then sectioning it off, so they're not walking in between the courts.
I think we're better off just
So
what
just
we're
keeping
doing,
it,
and we have control over.
As it is, we're gonna have some cords, because we're gonna have cords between, for the
Right.
3 pop-up trees and the deer.
I mean, we were down there, Patty and I were down there with bright orange electrical, or, duct tape, trying to take down cords on grass.
I would love to. I
Because-
don't remember that.
You know, I mean, you have to, because you're taking a liability, so you have to.
Oh, no, I get that. I just.
If you're gonna add all of that, now you've just opened it up to more.
You know, when we let somebody do something down there, we make them
Right.
fill out a form,
Right.
do all that
Right.
now.
If we open it up to a manger, then
Right.
someone else who comes and says, I want, you know, to put a giant menorah,
Yeah,
you can't say no.
Right.
I
Yeah.
think
So.
I think it's
Right.
better to keep
Because
it.
yeah, I think it's better to just leave it,
And more
what we put
liability,
down
more
there.
lights,
Right.
more wires, more.
Yeah.
And I think that it needs to be fairly
I
generic,
understand where you're
just
coming
for
from.
the sake of,
Well, respecting all.
right.
Right.
So,
I just wanted to
we'll
put that
abandon
on
the
the
trees.
table.
Yeah.
Tree idea. The people are asking me if we're doing the trees, and my first response was, yeah, and I went, well, wait a minute, let me go talk to that first.
The generic.
We know that the parade is ending there, and that's where we like the trees, but we'll put back the ones that we got and stuff, we just want to invite others to do it. if somebody comes up with an idea of what to invite to do something that isn't something, for that evening, I'm all ears, please let me know.
There was popcorn and hot chocolate or something up by the sidewalk, is that gonna be there?
Yeah, I'm glad you brought that up. Yes, the
Doings.
the Dewings asked me for authorization to set up their, what type of popcorn is it? Kettle corn. And I said I'd bring it up tonight. They've been doing it for years.
I don't think they were actually even on the plaza, but as far as I'm concerned, they can be, depending on.
Yeah,
whether-
they're right up by the sidewalk,
Right.
and, they don't charge.
No, it's free.
Great, so,
Went through 500 bags for Halloween.
trunk or treat at the church, yes. 500 bags.
I don't know about hot chocolate, who's doing hot chocolate?
Somebody had hot chocolate. and
Oh, I think Tammy Rinsky maybe did it.
Okay.
But that also was free.
Right, so, but I guess my point is, we waive the fees for that particular night.
As long as
so-
they've contacted Patty and got approval, not just showing up.
Right, yes,
And I know Doings are coming.
yes.
And who's coming to be in the parade? Town council.
I usually walk.
I'll walk.
Maybe.
You know, at the fair where you can't beg off it.
You can't throw the,
Oh, so then he's on ours.
So now you're back to us. Okay, I think that's all I got.
so just to recap, the holiday parade
Christmas
is,
parade. Christmas parade.
oh, so it is a Christmas parade,
Not when I'm running it, it's a Christmas parade.
okay.
They've never told me I
So-
can't call it a Christmas parade.
The Christmas parade
Town Christmas
is,
It's a Walton Lions Club Christmas parade. That's who sponsors it, and it
Downtown Christmas
lines
parade.
up at the bus garage at 5:30, marches off at 6,
what day?
20,
Six?
We gotta get this
Saturday.
right, because we're,
26th, November 26th, I'm pretty sure, Saturday, after Thanksgiving,
November 24th.
November 24th, there you go. I always look at
Saturday,
my
November
column.
24th.
Thank you.
So
November
Saturday,
24th.
November 24th is the Lions Club sponsored Christmas parade downtown Village of
If
Walton.
you're back in Walton with family for the holiday, please come to the parade. If you want to march, everybody is welcome to march. Just call me if you've got a float. If you're just in town for that day and you still want to come out to the bus garage, find me.
And the number to call you at?
865-5009. And we go down Delaware Street and around onto Bridge Street and then around to Water Street and back to the plaza to light the official tree now.
And I have to say, in all the years that I've participated in it, last year, I think it was the largest I've ever seen.
Yeah,
With
there were a
people
lot of people.
along the streets and plus all the people that ended up in the plaza.
They
Yeah,
stayed at the
plaza was-
plaza,
Yeah.
not
was
nicely. And we're
packed.
gonna do Christmas caroling at the plaza. I mean, spontaneous, anybody that's there. So it'll be a nice way, I hope, to bring in the season.
So come in March and sing.
So it probably wasn't raining or snowing.
No, it was a
You're going
beautiful
there.
day.
It was cold, but it
Yeah.
wasn't that bad.
Patty, just as an aside here, I don't know why, I just checked the weather. And if they don't put up that display until after Friday, it's not gonna rain anymore.
Yeah, right.
Yeah.
You mean for 24 hours or?
No,
Yeah.
well, for 4 days, actually.
Oh, wow.
I had 2 days of sunshine, then 2 days of snow, but,
Yeah, okay.
Monday, Tuesday and Wednesday next week.
And Santa and Mrs. Claus will greet children at Breaky's, and you can take pictures of Santa after the parade. They go from the plaza down to Breaky Motors. So there's a lot of things going on in Walton that day. It's a whole spend the day in Walton. There's a whole list of things that businesses are doing that day. The parade is the culmination of that at night, but then the kids can go to Breaky's. And the adults that don't have to go see Santa can go to TA's because they're doing a pie social. And I don't have to do Santa anymore, so I generally go to the pie social.
Nice, nice. And just to recap, veterans are having at Veterans Plaza Sunday at 11 o'clock, a short ceremony. Just, 100 years ago. 100 years ago, on that day, World War I ended.
Really? I didn't know it was 100.
100 years, yeah. Also, the Veterans Day Parade, which the band will participate in and everybody's invited to march in, will be the 12th, starting on Gardner Place at 10:45.
And go to the armory.
And go to the Armory, and then back to Gardner Place. So,
And I believe then there's a luncheon up at,
yes,
that's close.
right. So, okay, is there anything else?
I got.
All right. Approval of abstracts. If you notice on, you should have a handwritten change on the general fund A. Goes from 244 or 242 to 269 and $21,695.61 total. You need me to read?
269, 691, 64?
The abstract number for general fund A, 242
It's 269.
to 269, and the total was $50 more, $21,695.61. The other ones, the B, DA, and DB are all the same.
I'll make a motion we approve abstracts.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried. Oh, last thing, and I forgot to put it on here. I got your response for the 26th.
Okay, that was in the,
7 AM, right?
Yeah. okay. As far as I know, that'll be good, so.
Okay.
At least you got a good sense of humor.
7 AM?
Yeah, tell your.
That's almost lunchtime.
She couldn't,
We
she
started
couldn't meet
5.
before that,
5
though,
would be better.
right? I mean,
This is a union meeting.
right.
Yeah, I do want to go into a short executive session referencing that. There will be no action, so we won't have to come back out and go into,
But we do, we have to come out of executive.
well, yes, but we won't,
There
right.
will be action.
That's the 26th, right?
Yeah.
I'll make a motion to go in executive session for contract negotiations.
I'll second it.
All in favor?
Aye.
Carried.